Buddhism is a spiritual tradition that originated in ancient India around the 6th century BCE, founded by Siddhartha Gautama, known as the Buddha, which means the awakened one. It focuses on personal spiritual development and the attainment of a deep understanding of the true nature of life. Buddhism teaches that human suffering can be ended by following the Noble Eightfold Path and reaching a state of enlightenment called Nirvana. Here's a brief story about the life of the Buddha and the core principles of Buddhism. The story of the Buddha. Once upon a time, in the kingdom of Kapilavastu, there was a prince named Siddhartha Gautama, born to King Suddhodana and Queen Maya. At his birth, wise sages predicted that Siddhartha would either become a great king or a spiritual leader who would renounce the world. To ensure Siddhartha followed the path of royalty, the king kept him in the palace, shielding him from the hardships of life. The young prince lived in luxury, surrounded by wealth, beauty, and comfort. At the age of 16, he married a beautiful princess named Yashodhara, and they had a son named Rahula. However, despite his sheltered life, Siddhartha grew curious about the world outside the palace walls. One day, he ventured out on a chariot with his charioteer Channa. During his journey, Siddhartha encountered what would become known as the Four Sights. An old man, he saw the effects of aging. A sick man, he learned about illness and suffering. A dead man, he realized the inevitability of death. A wandering ascetic monk, he saw a man who had renounced the world in search of spiritual truth. These sights shook Siddhartha to the core. He realized that no matter how much wealth or comfort one might have, suffering, sickness, aging, and death were inevitable. This led him to question the purpose of life and how one could find freedom from suffering. At the age of 29, Siddhartha decided to leave his royal life behind. He said goodbye to his family, renounced his wealth, and became an ascetic. For 6 years he wandered, practicing extreme self-denial and fasting, hoping to find the answer to life's suffering. However, he found that such practices only brought him pain, not enlightenment. Finally, Siddhartha sat under a bodhi tree in Bodh Gaya, vowing not to rise until he discovered the truth. After meditating for days, he attained enlightenment and became the Buddha. He realized that the path to the end of suffering lay in the middle way, a balanced approach between extreme indulgence and extreme self-denial.